Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hope I'm audible.
Hare Krishna, yes, Mataji, you are audible.
सोमाज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपाय कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 रामा राम रामा हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे हरे हरि हराय नमः कृष्णाय यादवाय नमः यादवाय माधवाय केशवाय नमः। हरिहराय नमः कृष्ण यादवाय नमः यादवाय माधवाय गोविंदाय नमः। श्री कृष्ण हरि बोल गोपाल हरि बोल राधा रमण गोविंद हरि बोल। श्री कृष्ण हरि बोल गोपाल हरि बोल राधा रमण गोविंद हरि बोल। जय राधा गोविंद राधे जय गौरनिताय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय जय पंचतत्वा पंचतत्वा जय पंचतत्वा जय प्रभुपादा 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 जय प्रभुपादा निताय गौर हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. So welcome you all to the level 2 class of Bhagavad Gita. So we'll start with the chapter number 14. So actually 18 chapter is a summary of all the 17 chapters. So here we'll be discussing what all we have learned till 17 chapters. Okay, these are the total 78 shlokas are there in this particular chapter, and each verse and its description. 18.1 to 12, acting with detachment is a true renunciation, and and brings freedom from reaction. Okay, so whatever we are doing in action, it should be done with a detachment because we are doing as a service towards the Lord. That will ultimately liberate us. The conclusion of Sankhya and the Vedanta, action directed by the super soul being freedom from the reaction. Okay. And entanglements of three modes, worshipping the Lord through one's occupational work, that is doing the karma yoga, not the karma kanda, and that is said to be a true renunciation, again, which liberate us. Okay. And we have learned about the Jnana Yoga in 13th chapter to 17th chapter, and how it helps us to attain the pure devotion service. Then working in pure devotion service, surrender to super soul and most confidential knowledge of all, become a pure devotee of Krishna. Okay. So at last it comes the teaching and studying of Bhagavad Gita, and Arjuna is firmly fixed his mind to go ahead and wage the war against the Kauravas. Okay. Coming to the, see, as I told you, that this particular chapter is a summary of all the 17 chapters what we have learned till now. Okay. So chapter 1 to 6 is a true acting with a detachment is a true renunciation and brings freedom from the reaction. Okay. A true sannyasi does not renounce his activities, but he renounces the fruit of his activities. Okay. He does his work and submit the results onto the Lord. Okay. Renouncing one's prescribed duties in illusion is ignorance. Renouncing one's prescribed duties out of fear is passion. Okay. And but dutifully performing one's prescribed duty with a detachment is renunciation in a goodness. So we have to do our work and submit the results onto the Lord. Arjuna uvacha sannyasasya mahabaho tattvam ichchami veditum tyagasya cha rishikesha pritakeshi nusudana. Arjuna said, O mighty Amban, I wish to understand the purpose of renunciation, tyaga, and of the renounced order of the life. O killer of Kesi Daman, master of the senses. Okay. So one has to renounce, not just doing the duty. Bhagavad Gita is actually finished in 17th chapter. Just now, what I have told you. The 18th chapter is just a summarization. And throughout, the Lord emphasized the devotion service unto him as the ultimate goal of life. Okay. So this is said to be the most confidential of all. That is Moksha Upadesha Yoga. Okay. So ultimate purpose of the life is to renunciate and transcend all the three modes of materials. That is Sattva, Raja and Tamoguna. And yeah, how it is possible? Again, taking shelter of the Lord, because he is the one who can help us to overcome this and channelize our senses in regulation towards the bhakti towards the Lord. Okay, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha काम्यानां कर्मणं न्यासं सन्यासं कवयो विधु सर्वकर्मफलत्यागं प्राहुत्यागं विचक्षण. The Supreme Lord said to give up the results of all these activities is called renunciation, tyaga by the wise, and that stage is called as a renounced order of life. That is a sannyasa by the great men. Okay, according to Bhagavad Gita says results of one's activity have to be given up. Veda says sacrifice prompted by desire like gods or higher planets should be stopped. So purification has to be of one's heart, and for advancement in spiritual science should not be given up. Yes. Tyajyam dosavad ityeke karma prahurmanishina yajnadana tapa karma na tyajyam iti chapare. Yeah, whatever the work we do, the results ought to be submitted onto the Lord as a matter of a sacrifice or charity, whatever it is. But we should not take the credit of our work. Okay. निश्चयं शृणु मे तत्र त्यागे भरतसत्तमा त्यागो हि पुरुषा व्याघ्र त्रिविधा संप्रकीर्तित. O best of Bharatas, now hear my judgment about renunciation. O tiger among the men, renunciation is declared in the scriptures to be of three kinds based on the three different modes. Okay. यज्ञदान तप कर्म न त्यज्यं कर्म एव तत् यज्ञोदानं तपश्चैव पावनानि मनीषिणम्. Acts of sacrifice, charity, and penances are not to be given up, but should be performed. Indeed, sacrifice, charity, penance should be purify even the great souls. So whatever the activity we are doing towards the Lord, so all those things will purify our souls ultimately. Okay. So marriage is a purification process which helps human advance in the spiritual life. Yogis perform acts for advancement in the human society. So marriage ceremony is called as Vivaha Yajna. Sannyasi is a renounced order of love, life, having giving up his family relationship. Yet Lord says he appreciate my any sacrifices for the human welfare. Okay. Yeah, Vivaha Yajna is meant to regulate the human mind. That means once one is married, then means they're fixed on their mind regulation toward one particular person. Yes, particular person is my spouse and all, and I need to go according to them. Such a mind become peaceful after for spiritual advancement. The mind will not be wavering. If they are not married, then they will always have that hunt inside their mind, like who is my life partner. So the mind will not be at rest. But once married and settled, then the mind will be at peace. Then they can regulate their senses in channelizing the energies towards the Lord. And next important thing is sannyasi should never associate with a woman, and but he should support the marriage of a young man in lower stages of the life. And so for grihastha, the rules are same. For sannyasis, again, they have to renounce and ultimately reach the Lord, but the paths are different. एतान्यपि तु कर्माणि सङ्गं त्यक्त्वा फलानि च कर्तव्यानिति मे पार्था निश्चितं मतमुत्तमम्. All these activities performed should be without any exception of result. They should be performed as a matter of duty, O son of Pritha. This is my final opinion. Okay. So here you can see a gentleman is trying to save this lamb which is washed away in the water and all, and another gentleman is trying to help him out to come out of it. So here just they are trying to save the soul with no other intention. Okay. नियतस्य तु सन्न्यास कर्मणो नोपपद्यते मोहतस्य परित्यागस्तामसा परिकीर्तिता. Prescribed duty should never be renounced. If one gives up prescribed duty because of illusion, such renunciation is said to be in the mode of ignorance. Okay. So yeah, anybody who is not doing their work, assigned job. So as a mother, father, teacher, or any employees, and out of fear of bodily discomfort, then they're this so if they're not doing, then that is said to be in a mode of a passion. If totally leaving means, then it is said to be in the mode of a ignorance. Such action never leads to the elevation of the renunciation, so it will not help you to progress further in the bhakti. Okay. So whatever activity we are doing, whether spiritual activities like in a temple, like cooking, offering the food, so all those things, any service towards the Lord will help you to elevate to the higher planetary system or go back to the Godhead. Okay. Yeah, sannyasi may perform a marriage ceremony of the Krishna conscious disabled partner with the purpose of helping them to advance in spirituality. Okay, renouncing of these activities situated one in the mode of a darkness. So, see again, Grahastha has a different life, Sannyasas has a different life, but sannyasis can participate in the activities which help one to regulate the Grahasthas, okay, in advancing in Krishna consciousness. In that way, they can help them out. Okay. Dukkhamiti eva yat karma kaya klesha bhayat tyajet sakritva rajasam tyagam naiva tyaga phalam labhet. Anyone who give up prescribed duties as a troublesome out of fear or for bodily discomfort is said to have renounced in the mode of a passion. Such action never leads to the elevation of the renunciation. Okay, if one stop earning, thinking that too to be a fruitive activity, does not rise early in the morning, think it to be troublesome. Such a giving up of activity is in the mode of a passion. Okay. One must earn and offer the money to Krishna conscious activity. One must rise early in the morning and advance in transcendental Krishna consciousness. Okay. Karyam ityeva yat karma niyatam kriyate Arjuna sangam tyaktya phalam chaiva satyaga satviko mata. Oh Arjuna, when one performs his prescribed duty only because it has to be done and renounces all material association and all attachment of his fruit, then that person is said to be renounced. Okay. Yeah. Not doing the prescribed duties out of illusion, then it is said to be in the mode of ignorance. Not doing prescribed duties out of difficulty or fear, then it is said to be in the mode of passion. Doing the duty, then it is said to be in the mode of goodness. Okay. So one should never try to refrain from doing the activities. Okay. न द्वेष्टिया कुशलं कर्म कुशले ननु सज्जते त्यागी सत्वा समोविष्टो मेधावी चिन्न संशया. The intelligent renouncer, situated in the mode of goodness, neither hateful or inauspicious work nor attached to the auspicious work, has no doubts about the work. Okay, he does not hate anyone or anything which troubles his body. Okay, yeah, he is not disturbed by any of the troubles which affects his duty. Okay, and he's always situated in the transcendental. Yeah, one does not hate anyone or anyone that troubles his body, work in proper place at proper time without fearing the troublesome effect. Okay, is neither hateful of inauspicious work nor attached to the auspicious work, which means is there in the mode of a goodness. So, intelligent renouncer is situated in the mode of goodness, neither hateful of inauspicious work nor attached to the auspicious work. He has no doubt about the work. He will completely do the work which is there right in front of him. Okay. Uh, for one who is not renounced, the threefold fruits of action desirable, what do you say, undesirable mixed occur after the death. So, those who are in the renounced order will not, what do you say, no such, anything is okay for them. I mean, nahi deha brita sakyam tyakyam karmani aseshata yastu karma phalatyagi satyagiti abhidhiyate. A true renouncer works for Krishna and offers everything to Krishna. So, Lord clearly outlines how and why fruits of activity should be renounced. So, many members of ISKCON very work hard in the offices, factories, and elsewhere. They give their part of their earnings to the society, and such highly elevated souls are actually sannyasis situated in the renounced order of a life. Anishtam ishtam ishram cha trividham karmana phalam bhavati atyaginam pretya nasu sannyasinam kvachit. For one who is not renounced, so again they have a materialistic contamination in the form of sattva, raja, and tamoguna. So they have a fruit of action, desirable action, undesirable action, and a mixed action, which will occur after the death. But those who are in the renounced order of life have no such results to or to suffer. Okay, a person in Krishna consciousness acting in knowledge of his relationship with Krishna is always liberated. Okay. Panchaitani mahabaho karnani nibodhame sankhye kritanti proktani siddhaye sarva karmanam. O mighty armed Arjuna, according to the Vedanta, there are 5 causes of accomplishments of all action. Now learn of these from me. Okay. So, to a question how a Krishna conscious does not suffer or enjoy or the reactions of work, the Lord cites the Vedanta philosophy to show how this is possible. He engages everyone in certain activity based on their past action. Okay. So, activities performed in Krishna consciousness under divine direction from within yield no reasons either in this life or in life after the death. Okay. So, Sarvasya Chaham Hriti Sannivishta. The ultimate control is invested in the super soul. Okay. So, by doing the good activity, we can overcome what all is there in the past life, in the present life, or something wrong we have done. It get purified and will be advancing in spirituality. Okay. Adhishthanam tatha karta karanam cha pratagvidham vividascha pratak cheshta daivam chaivatra panchamam. The place of body, the action that is the body, what we possess. The performer again is the Krishna. The various senses given by Krishna and many different kinds of endeavor. Ultimately, the super soul. These are the 5 factors of the action. Okay. 5 causes cooperatively perform every action. Yeah. The same thing, mind, body, and speech. If we regulated, then it will go in a right way. If irregulated, then it will go against the scriptural injunctions. Oh, mighty armed Arjuna, learn from me the 5 factors which bring about the accomplishment of all action. They are declared in Sankhya philosophy to be the place of action, the performer, the senses, the endeavor, and ultimately the super soul. Okay. So you can see they are planning out what all to make and all, but ultimately it's a Krishna who will help us to build everything or anything advanced which help us. Okay. The soul within the body is a doer or performer, and the instrument of action are the senses. And every action has a different endeavor. All activities depends on the will of Supersoul. The Supreme Lord is Supercause. Therefore, one acting under the direction of Supersoul is not bound by any activity. Those in complete Krishna consciousness are not ultimately responsible for their actions. Everything is dependent on the Supreme Will, the Supersoul, and the Supreme Personality of the Godhead. One who thinks himself as a doer, considering the five factors, is certainly a foolish person, because he cannot see the Lord's effort behind the outcome. Okay. So although the material causes are the place, worker, endeavor, and senses, the final cause is again the Lord who gives us the kshamata, the ability, as per 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, to do in a day-to-day life. Okay. यस्य नः कृतो भावो बुद्धिर्यस्य न लिप्यते हत्वापि सा इमां लोका न हन्ति नादिबध्यते. So Lord tell Arjuna the desire not to fight arises from the false ego. Arjuna was thinking he was himself as the doer of action, but in 11th chapter it gets cleared, isn't it? So again, that ability in a person is Krishna. So we should not fall into the trap of that illusion that we are the ultimate doer. Okay. Here we have a different analogies, a soldier who is in an army, he has to take the control what a commanding officer is giving him. Okay. So similarly, what a Lord is giving us the command, we have to take that. Then only will be a regulator. If soldier would not listen to the commanding officer, then again he is liable to be the actions by the court. Similarly, we have to regulate ourselves, whatever the command which is given by the supersoul. If not, we are liable to be actions by the law. Okay. Knowledge, the object of knowledge, the knower, are the three factors that motivate action. The senses, the work, and the doer are the three constituents of the action. Okay. According to the three different modes of material nature, there are three kinds of knowledge: action, performer of action. Now hear from me. Okay. So three kinds of knowledge based on the modes of material nature. Okay. And that knowledge by which one is attached, sorry. First one is the knowledge which is undivided in spiritual nature is seen in all existence, undivided in divided. The knowledge is said to be the mode of a goodness. Okay. The knowledge by which a different type of living entity is seen to be dwelling in different bodies is in the mode of a passion. That means equal vision towards all individuals is set up in the mode of goodness. Seeing different individuals on a different entity or a different plane is set up in the mode of a passion. And knowledge by which one is attached to one kind of work and as the all in all without knowledge of the truth, which is very meager, is said to be the mode of a darkness. Okay. Niyatam sangarahitam maragadveshata kritam afala prepsuna karma yatyat satvikam uchyate. So regulated occupational duty as prescribed in all the scriptures in different terms and orders and divisions of the society, and the work which is done without any attachments for the satisfaction of the super soul are said to be in the mode of a goodness. Okay. Yatu kamepsuna karma sahankaरेण वा पुनः क्रियते बहुलायासं tadrajasam mudahritam. Action performed with great efforts to gratify one's senses, done with a sense of false ego, are said to be in the mode of passion. That means whatever work we are doing, we are expecting the result out of it. Then it is said to be in the mode of a passion. Accounts of one action have to be given to the agents of Supreme Lord, the Yamadutas. Irresponsible work is against the scriptural injunctions, hence destructive. Okay, and destructive to others too. All that actions are said to be in the mode of ignorance, that is not following the regulative principles, acting as per one's whims and fantasies. Okay. Three kind of workers. So three kind of actions we have learned: good, passion, and ignorance. Now three kinds of workers. A worker who is free from all materialistic attachment and false ego and is enthusiastic and resolute and who is indifferent to success or failure is said to be in the mode of goodness. The other one who wanted to enjoy the results of his greedy, envious, impure, moved by the happiness and distress is said to be in the mode of passion. And one who is acting totally against the injunction of scriptures, who is materialistic, obstinate, and cheating, expert in insulting others, lazy, morose, procrastinating, is a worker in the mode of ignorance. So, person in the mode of ignorance do things which should be shunned. and they accept religion which are not actually religions, reject the actual religion. So totally on a different path, which is not as per the scriptures. Next, three type of men we have discussed. First, three types of action we have discussed, three type of men we have discussed, and now we are discussing three kinds of intelligence. So, O son of Pritha, that understand by which one knows what ought to be done and what ought not to be done, which is to be fear, which is not to be fear, which is binding, which is liberating. That understanding is established. If one is there in the mode of a goodness, they have a clarity. What is right, what is wrong, what will take you further in Krishna consciousness. Whereas the one who is there in the mode of a passion, they clearly cannot distinguish between the religious and irreligious way, and still they don't have a clarity what has to be done, what is not to be done. And for the people who are there in the mode of ignorance, they are always on the wrong path because they don't have a knowledge about what is right. Okay. So, yeah, one's progress is merely possible once who is fixed in the Krishna consciousness through his mind, life, and senses, and he's there in the mode of a goodness. So, avyabhicharena means the Krishna conscious peoples are always focused on their goal. Nothing can distract them. So, next comes three kinds of determination based on the modes of material nature. Okay. So, O son of Prutha, what determination which is unbreakable, which is sustained with steadfastness by yoga practice, and thus control the mind, life, and the access of the senses is set in the mode of a goodness. So one which is regulating your senses and everything, that is said to be the mode of a goodness. And that determination by which one holds fast to the fruitive results in religion, economic development, and sense gratification. Okay. That is said to be in the mode of a passion. Okay. And one which is going beyond the dreaming, fearfulness, lamentation, moroseness, that is said to be in the mode of a darkness. Sukantva idanim trividham shunu me bharatarshava abhyasadramate yatra dukkhantam cha nigacchati. Oh, best of Bharatas, now please hear from me about the three kinds of happiness by which conditioned souls enjoy, by which he sometimes come to end of all the distress. Okay. Three kinds of happiness again. The one which is there in the mode of a goodness may look like a poison in the beginning, but the end it is like a nectar. And for the one which is there in the mode of a passion, in the beginning it may look like a poison, but the end again it appears like a nectar. Okay. And similarly, in the mode of ignorance, again your delusion and everything out of arises out of laziness, sleepiness, and illusion. So that is set up in the mode of ignorance. Natadasi prativyam cha divi deveshu va puna sattvam prakriti jay muktam yat abhisyad tribhir gune. So there is no being existing either here or among the demigods in the higher planetary system, which is free from these three modes of material nature. So every individual who has taken birth has to undergo these three particular process, the three different modes. He has to overcome that. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Visham, Shudra, Namcha, Param, Tapa, Karmane, Pravibha. Different kinds of action. Now we are coming to the Varnashrama. Again, in this Varnashrama, first you are coming to the Varna. What are the four Varnas? Brahmana, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras, which are distinguished with the qualities born out of their own nature in accordance with the material mode, or chastiser of enemy. Okay. So this is the yoga's ladder. Yeah. Karma, then Sukarma, then Nishkama Karma, working in pure devotion service, more confidential knowledge about the Lord, then become a pure devotee of the Lord. Okay. So, freedom from reaction by occupation work. All work is controlled by most, yet one can become free by submitting the results onto the Lord. That is karma or Nishkama Karma Yoga. So, then he is not affected by the outcomes of it. So, four kind of ashramas based on modes of material nature. What are those? समोदमस्तपा शौचं शान्तिम् आर्जवमेव च ज्ञानं विज्ञान अस्तिक्यं ब्रह्म कर्म स्वभावजम्. So peacefulness, self-control, austerity, purity, tolerance, all these things we have discussed in our 16th chapter, right? Knowledge, religiousness, these are the qualities by which the more of a qualities of goodness by which the Brahmana works. Sauryam tejo daksham yuddhe chapi apalayan danam ishvara bhavascha kshatram karma swabhavajam. So heroism, power, determination, resourcefulness, courage in the battle, which are the leadership qualities required for a Kshatriya. Krishigo Raksha Vanityam Vaishya Karma Swabhavajam Paricharyam Matmakam Karma Shudrasyapi Swabhavajam. Farming, cattle raising, and business are the qualities of the work for the Vaishyas, and for the Shudras, the labor and the service to the others. So, yeah, the Vaishyas has to take care of the business activities in the cattle and the farming, whereas the Shudras, they have to take care of the service sector of the society. स्वे स्वे कर्माणि अभिरतः संसिद्धिं लभते नरा स्वकर्माणि रता सिद्धिं यथा विन्दति तत् शृणु. By following the qualities of the work, every man can become perfect. Please now hear from me that how this can be done. Okay. यथा प्रवृत्ति भूतानां येन सर्वामिदं ततं स्वकर्मणा तं Abhyarchya Siddhim Vindati Manava. By worship of the Lord, who is the source of all beings and who is all pervading, a man can, in the performance of his own duty, attains the perfection. So, as per the prescribed dharma, if they are doing, sticking on to that and continuously striving to excel perfection in that particular swadharma, then ultimately they will reach the God at perfection. Okay. The part and parcel of Supreme Lord is doing the rendering service onto the him and submitting the results of the Lord. As you all know, the super soul existing is all living entity in the form of a small soul, and yeah, everyone should think that he is engaged in particular type of occupation by Rishikesha. And whatever occupation one may be engaged in, he will achieve the highest perfection. Becoming fully aware of everything through working in Krishna consciousness is the perfection of life. Okay. Teshamaham Samudharta. Supreme Lord himself takes charge of delivering such a devotee. Okay. Shreyan Swadharma Vigunaha Paradharmo Swanushtitat Swabhavaniyatam Karma Kurvan Apnoti Kilbisham. It is better to engage in one's own occupation, even though one may perform it imperfectly, than to accept another occupation and perform it perfectly. Prescribed duties according to one's nature are never affected by sinful reaction. Okay. So here is a competition between the different people. One can climb fast, one can swim fast, one can run fast, and one can take different sort of a duty. Equal competition to all will not be able to judge their capabilities in one go. Okay. So as per one's capability, you should give their work and take the work accordingly. Okay. And one should not imitate others' duty, working according to his own nature, and no work is abominable if performed in the service of Supreme Lord. So occupation duty of a Brahmana is in the mode of a goodness, and for Kshatriya passion, Vaishya mode of a passion and ignorance, and for Shudra it is in the mode of a ignorance. Yeah. Similarly, for a Kshatriya, he has to exhibit violent nature to kill his enemies and speak lies in diplomacy. Okay, as related to political affairs, one should not give up to behave like a Brahmana. Lord is satisfied one behaves as per his duty. So Arjuna, being a Kshatriya, did not need to be a friend of a guilt of sinning or degradation. He was fightful in Swadharma for the sake of Krishna. So similarly. Uh, yeah. Whatever the work, yajna, whichever varna they are doing, not for the sensual enjoyment of the self, but for the pleasing the senses of the Lord. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, by any means, if we are not able to do our duty, either we are escaping, we are forgetting, or we are not completing, then again we are said to be contaminated by being there in a mode of a passion and a ignorance. Okay. So give up all the dharmas and simply surrender unto me, as per Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, 20 chapter 9 shloka, verse 23. तावत् कर्माणि कुर्वित न निर्विद्येते यवतः मत्कथा श्रवणादौ वा श्रद्धा यावन्न jayate. We must keep doing a prescribed occupation duty as long as the taste of devotion through hearing, chanting, meditating on the leelas of the God has not developed. Okay. Sahajam karma kaunteya sadosham api na tyajeta sarvarambha hidoshena dhumena agnir ivavrita. Every endeavor is covered by some fault, just as a fire is covered by smoke. Therefore, one should not give up the work born of his nature, O son of Kunti, even if such work is full of a fault. Okay, whatever the prescribed duty which is there for self, one has to do that. Okay. That way, he will not be free. He will not free from any sort of materialistic contamination and help us to become a pure devotee. So one should serve the Supreme Lord through prescribed duty with a determination. All the defects in the particular occupation are purified. This is perfection. Performing devotion service is in the state of a self-realization. Okay. Asakta buddhi sarvatra jitatma vigata spraha Naishkarmya siddhim paramam sanyasedadi gacchati. So one who is self-controlled, unattached, and who is disregard all materialistic enjoyment can obtain by practice of renunciation the perfect stage of freedom from the reaction. So that person can move forward in the life. Okay. So that is said to be the real renunciation because he is not expecting results out of his. So the thinker is true a sannyasi and attached to everything material and free from all the reactions of his past life and which will ultimately reach the perfection stage of the yoga. Okay. Hare Krishna, this we will continue next week. It will take another 45 minutes class. Hare Krishna. Any doubts till now you can ask. Congratulations to all of you. You are almost on the verge of completion of level 2 class. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. We are almost completing Mataji. I think any doubt or anything. This is just a summary class. 18th chapter is simply a summary.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. Fine. I think we'll conclude. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Thank you, co-host and participants for your active participation. See you all next Monday at 7:30 p.m. Hare Krishna.